What's up, everybody? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome to another episode of ONYXCON's Relationship Goals in the Art Life. Yes, today we're going to discuss a number of topics, and I plan to possibly make this a series, okay? So we're going to break down some of the key things that any artist, especially a man, who's wanting to travel abroad and experience different cultures, different people, and possibly find love or find friends or find whatever they're looking for in an intimate style relationship with a lady, and what you're bound to come into, and how, even aside from traveling abroad, what can happen even here in developing such relationships. So you hear the phrases all the time. You know, if you go on a dating app nowadays, or in the last few decades, you're going to find categories of what you might be looking for. And these categories have become the standard that most people define relationships by in America, okay? And it's ever growing, you know, just like orientations and everything. Everybody's got so many different just definitions for every single mind state you can think of. But to speak of these types of relationships, you're going to always hear LTR, long-term relationship. You're going to hear short-term relationship. You're going to hear hookup, and you're going to hear, let me see, those are the main ones. Now, here's what I add to the list. Seasons. Yes. I got a list right here I'm going through. What I like to call it, remember who said this, all right? This is a Joseph R. Wheeler III original right now, what I'm about to say. You see people say casual. I say, no, I don't do casual. I do dress casual. Now, some of y'all ladies really like that. Some of y'all scratching your head saying, that's just some old mess. What are he talking about? I don't want to hear it if it's casual. I don't want to hear it if it's hookup. I don't want to hear it if it's seasonal. Well, maybe that's what you need. And maybe that's all you can qualify for. See, relationships are a lot like credit, you know, that thing that most of us struggle with. I mean, I can admit I struggle with it. It is what it is. On a personal level, it's really hard, you know, the financial constraints of that. But we're not here to talk about that. Let's talk about this relationship type of credit. All right? All right. So, if you're single, as a man, you know you're expected to provide something. This is what when men are providers, ladies create comfort. And men create comfort too. But we're all pleasure seekers. But this is the fine line of how things tend to get defined, right? You know, ladies, find a way to be agreeable enough, beautiful enough, giving enough, nurturing enough to attract the right men. Men, be protective, be a provider, be consistent, be honest, be honorable, and be worthy. Add those to the women's list too, the honorable and the worthy and all that. All this is important. Everything the woman can do, the man can do too. But we're just expected to do more of each of these things on either side of the spectrum, right? All right. So, and yes, we're speaking of traditional stuff. But these traditional things are not just traditions. Some of it's just innate. It's natural. It's in the natural order of things. It's the way we operate. And no matter what you do, and no matter who you are, one way or another, you express these. Even in alternative types of relationships. I have friends of many spectrums, so I know this is a reality mentally, but we're not here to talk about even that, so let's stay focused, because I'm good at going on tangents. Okay, so when I said dress casual, what does that mean? That means that instead of things being casual in the sense of how most people look at casual in America these days, like hit it and quit it. You know, I went out, we had a nice little date, and then we're going to get it in for the night, and then I don't even have to call you, or you say, hey, this was nice. Here's my number, maybe we'll do this again sometime. But everybody knows, you know, you see it in every movie, every sitcom, whatever. Most of the time that just means I'll never see you or hear from you again. I might bump into you somewhere and we both do a little wicked grin like, we did that, didn't we? Or maybe it wasn't good and y'all trying to avoid each other, whatever the case, right? That's that hookup fling lifestyle. That's how most people look at the term casual. Now, another way of looking at casual is, it keeps going because you actually did call the person back every now and then. You know, you get in a slump, you get in a drought, you need some sex, you want to hit them up, you get it in. That kind of thing. Now, there's another level, and this is what I call dress casual. This means you can't play with your life, your health, or your connections to other people in that very frivolous way. It just doesn't work for you. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out here that do what I just said and do it very well and without anybody's feelings getting hurt. But I don't know who those people are. Because everybody I know who tries to play that game gets hurt or hurts somebody. It just is what that is. Okay? So in dress casual, it's a more respectful, responsible approach. It's saying, look, I can't afford a LTR. Hear that again. If a man is honest, fellas, be transparent. Transparency is the best policy. Transparency is always the best policy. There's no game, there's just truth. This is a different way of looking at it. You know, some of y'all, hey, he ain't got no game, no game. He ain't got no game. Game, okay? Tell the truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will give you better options, more pleasant options, more reality. Now, some people say, "What the hell with all that truth stuff?" I was just on, I won't say what show it was. Let's just say I saw a quote from, and he said this before, so this is nothing new. And I'm not trying to direct quote. Let me make that clear. What I'm about to say is not a direct quote, but he's joked about this a lot. But the famous comedian Steve Harvey, all right, he often makes the joke that, you know, he's an advocate of the power of the lie. And that sometimes in a relationship, a man's just got to lie to keep peace. Okay, that's his philosophy. Now, I know a lot of men who would agree with that. I got close men in my family who agree with that. And I'm not saying, and these men are not cheats and trifling dudes. They just come from that old school thing, just like Steve, where they think too much truth is not a good thing with most women. They can't handle it. And it goes to the famous quote from the movie with, I forget the name of the movie, with Tom Cruise and the legend, Jack Nicholson. He said, "You can't handle the truth." There is a reality to that. There is a reality to that. Most folks can't handle the truth. Most ladies can't handle certain types of truth. Now, I'm not one to be a liar, though. It's just not in me to lie. I don't see the purpose in lying, and it always, you know, I was also raised on, the boy who cried wolf. It comes back to bite you and it bites you in the ass. It just does what it does. So here's my philosophy, you know. I don't believe in lying. I believe in withholding elements of the truth that are not relevant to your situation. Which is why, from the beginning of a relationship, if you only state what's relevant, if you put your cards down on the table and say, "This is all I can do. This is it. This is what I'm able to do right now." Is that good enough for you? Now then they're going to look at you and they're going to size you up. And the lady's going to say to herself, "Well, oh man, but he's so cute, he's so handsome, he's so nice, he's this, that, he's that," whatever it is about you that appeals, right? Whatever it is that you can offer, okay? And then they may think, "Well, I can work on him and get him." Don't do that. Don't get all in your head thinking about how you going to decorate, all right? And then that's something that ladies naturally do. But hold that part of yourself down. Just like a man has to hold that part of themselves down to say, "Yeah, I'd love to keep this beautiful woman around. If she treats me right, because she looks so good, I'm going to have a gorgeous woman to be with intimately all the time." You can't afford that. And you know that. And you can't afford to hold her back from other goals she has in her life or other men that might come along who can provide more of the things that she wants, if that be financial or whatever else, right? So you know that. So instead of giving yourself or her that headache, you say, "Look, you got your freedom, but understand this. At the time you decide you've met someone else and you want to move on, you can do so. Just be responsible, be adult. Let's meet back at the same table we met at to put our cards down in the beginning. We put them cards down. We say, hey, this is what I'm about. This is what you about. This is what I can do. This is what you can do. This is what we can't do. This is what we can do on both sides. Okay? And then it's like working at a job knowing you about to leave that job. You about to put in your application. I mean, you put in your application in the beginning. You did your interviews. You got hired, right? But they hired you part-time. Okay, it's a part-time job. Maybe it's a long, there's different types of part-time jobs. See, it's all very complicated. Maybe this is the kind of part-time job where you have some benefits. See, that's the dress casual. The one that's just casual, you ain't got no benefits, nothing. You come to work, you get paid. If you don't come to work, you don't get paid. Don't call us, we'll call you. You know what I'm saying? What you doing at 3 a.m. in the morning? What you doing? Can I slide through? That's that casual. See, dress casual is, hey, it's Thursday. How was your week? You good? Yeah. Well, check it out. The weekend's coming up. I mean, is it open? You got anything? No, I ain't got nothing going on. Would you like to see me? Of course I would. All right. Well, check it out. I got to work on Monday, but you're welcome to come through Friday and stay all the way till, Sunday afternoon, if you will. I just know I can't be, how we do, baby. So we can't be doing all Sunday because I got to be ready for Monday morning early, like 6 a.m. on set or something. That's dress casual. That's respectful. You see how early he called her? He gave her time to plan. It's Thursday, maybe even Wednesday. Hell, sometimes Monday. Okay? Got a whole week sometimes to figure it out. That's adult stuff. That's grown folk. That's respectful. That's how you do it right. Fellas, take note. Ladies, note it too. Demand it. You might want to get with the dress casual program. It's a better way to live. It's a better way to live. All right. Now, so you're doing it like that, right? That's the dress casual platform. And if either of you, and this is speaking from experience, right? And I'm not saying it's easy none of the things I'm about to say are easy. There's no such thing. We talking about relationships. Nothing about it is easy, but it is possible. And I've lived this stuff I'm talking about, right? So I want you to understand, ladies and gents, the dress casual platform is maybe the best way for you to find more. And you say, what you mean more? You just talking about casual. It may not turn into nothing. It may and it may not. No different from, I'm dating with purpose. You see this all the time, ladies. I'm dating with purpose. Don't even hit me up for nothing else. If you don't want to get married, if you ain't thinking about marriage, then don't even call. And you see this more and more with young, 20-somethings. You like, girl, your brain, your frontal lobe just closed. Between 25 and 27, scientifically, your frontal lobe just closed. You just started thinking like an adult. You don't need to have no baby. You don't need to be married. Now, this is my personal philosophy. Everything I'm saying does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of everyone associated with ONYXCON. And I want you to understand that this is for edutainment purposes only. It's educational, it's entertainment. So the sensational element of what I'm saying, take it for that. You don't have to agree, okay? This is my personal opinion as the host of this content. Don't want anybody getting it misconstrued that this represents all of ONYXCON. We just give you a lot of different things. You take it or leave it, enjoy it if you will, right? So like I say, do not, in my opinion, ladies, I think ladies shouldn't even be, because I know the clock is ticking regardless. The clock starts ticking in your 20s. I understand it starts ticking earlier than that for some women. But I understand that while at the same time, while science is doing what it's doing, mentally and societally, in society, the mind state of what y'all got going on out here, hit the club, hookah bars, smoking and drinking hard, all this crazy stuff you shouldn't be doing. You got so much going on half the time. Y'all not ready. You're just not ready. You need to figure out what makes life more balanced first. You need to get some form of routine that fits a married person's lifestyle, fits responsibility, fits knowing how to do for yourself. You do need to learn how to cook and clean. You do need to know how to cook. You do need to know how to cook. Fellas too. But ladies especially, okay? You gotta understand these basics. These are basics. These are just basic survival. This is about survival. This is about self-survival, right? Then you get into all the specifics of what you wanna demand because you got something to offer. If you ain't got to offer, what you giving demands for? What's your list of demands? Only marriage. Do you come from a family of marriage? Did you see an example of a man and a woman raising you when you were a child? Some of y'all say yes. Some of y'all say, no, it wasn't so good. I was a man in the house, but he wasn't about nothing. Okay. He left. Okay. You need an example first. All right? You need to understand what that is. And if you don't know, you need to humble yourself to those who do. See, I'm speaking from my own experience because I had that. Thank goodness. Universe blessed. But I know that even sometimes is a challenge in this society now. It's becoming more and more common. The broken home system is just becoming normal, Greeting cards talk to this nowadays versus there was a time when market-wise, they couldn't say certain things. They couldn't, have a card that'd be like, thank goodness for having a parent like you instead of parents. This has become normal now, unfortunately. So I'm a big advocate of thinking, people need to first try to live. It's not a fantasy to live that unit. This is what it's supposed to be. Man and woman make child, raise child. This is what it was supposed to be. And supposed ain't based on no human philosophy. This is just natural. This is the order of our DNA, of our species as human beings. Anyway, ain't gonna get too heavy on that. Like I say, Joseph R. Will III's perspectives. So, yeah. By the time you get to an age where you are willing to consider marriage and everything, that's going to require a lot of other skills having been developed in all that time, when you got to make a decision at a certain point. How much is going to the club is too much going to the club. I mean, unless you're about to invest in the club life and become an owner or somehow an investor in a club or something, you're spending too much damn time in the club, you're spending too much time at the mall, you're spending too much time in a lot of these places. They're not teaching you real life skills for survival, especially in a marriage, and the reality of finances. And I don't care how wealthy you are. Well, not wealthy, that's not the word to use. I don't care how pseudo-rich you are. Because some of y'all out here got a little bit of money and think you're rich. And then you find out what really goes on if you ever lose that job or whatever else you got going on. And forget the ones who are half hustling and doing all kind of other crazy stuff. Then you're really getting caught up eventually. So the bottom line is your whole world can fall apart. Your whole world can fall apart. And what you need to start understanding is how to make it in the real, what skills matter and what don't. What types of skills matter to a relationship? Yes, get your education. If you want to go to college, go to college. If you want to learn a trade, if you want to look at YouTube, they say YouTube University, they say, look at YouTube, learn something from these videos and apply it to life. It is all real. Education is education. It doesn't matter where it's coming from if it's real. If it's real, it's real. So that's the dress casual definition, right? And for some folks, this can work. The reason why is it gives both people time to explore responsibly. Now, here's the other parameter about the dress casual situation. It doesn't mean you just willy-nilly get out here and have random hookups with other people. Once you have a sensual relationship going with somebody, you create a covenant that says, yeah, if I go out on a date or anything, I might kiss somebody goodbye for the night. We might get a little frisky, but I'm not about to smash. We're not going to go all the way because I got somebody. You understand? And you might even be able to, if you really got your stuff in order, you can even tell them that. Be like, look, I'll tell you this before we even go on this date. We ain't smashing. Why not? Because I'm seeing other people and I'm kind of serious about somebody else, but we're not official, we're not committed. So I'm still open to see what else is going on out here. So put your best foot forward and see what happens. Now you put your best foot forward, the other person, they impress you. Okay, we got to have another sit down. We got to have another meeting with the one that you are dealing with on that sensual tip. See, this is how you avoid diseases and psychosis spreading in society. And y'all come back to the table and you say, you know what? I did find somebody else I'm a little bit more curious of in many other ways. And trust me, I still appreciate this so much. And if that person is worth the salt of what you thought you were getting into from the beginning, even if feelings have started to develop, they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's a tough one because I don't want to let you go right now. But you know what? That's okay. I mean, if they can do more for you and you think you're going to be happier in other ways over there, you're responsible for your own happiness. Every individual is responsible for their own happiness. So if you need to move. It's all good. And you send them on their way. And if you're real smooth, fellas, you leave them with this. You say, now check this out. I may not be here when you come back, but if you come back, just know you still got a welcome. You got a welcome mat at my door. Because we've been about this the right way. Responsibly, and I really appreciate you, girl. She ain't gonna forget that. And he wouldn't forget that if you gonna say that to him, ladies. If you're handling your stuff right. You understand? Oh, man. If a woman says that to a man, oh my gosh. Because see, let me tell y'all something about that. On either side of the spectrum, a man never forgets a good woman, and a good woman never forgets a good man. It goes both ways. But here's the thing, though, about that chemistry of man and woman. If you've been doing all kind of amazing things, aside from what's going on in the bedroom, I'm just talking about y'all still go. The other thing about the dress casual situation is you actually date. You still go on dates and things. You still do romantic stuff. You take them out, fellas, okay? It ain't all about the smash. It ain't all about Netflix and chill. You still go somewhere. Maybe not as much. Maybe the dates are less expensive. And ladies, if you really about the business of it, I agree with the philosophy that the man should pay on a date, right? But if you're doing the dress casual thing, every now and then, if not most of the time, go Dutch. Yeah, I said if not most of the time. What's wrong with that? What's the problem? What the problem is? And don't be holding back in the bedroom thinking, well, he didn't do that, so if he had bought me dessert too, maybe he could get some dessert now. No, don't play that mental game with yourself, because you're gonna want more of whatever you want if you like what you're getting, how you're getting it, if you're getting it and getting it well. So just don't hold back on each other either. Give all you can, because what you're doing here is just showing that you can be a true team player and respect the situation at hand, right? Because both of y'all, for whatever reasons, don't have it to go all the way full throttle LTR, long term. This dress casual situation tends to work best for people who've been divorced, just getting over another long-term relationship, things of that nature. These are typically the only two. I'm gonna say this for the fellas and ladies out there, because some of y'all saying, how the hell that work? More than likely, you're younger. You ain't been through nothing. And if you have, yes, I have. I done been in whatever. How many years? If you ain't had a relationship that lasted more than 5 years, or if you weren't married for more than 5 years, you probably don't understand how this could psychologically work. See, people who've been in something like that know what depression is. They know what it feels like to wake up next to somebody and be so done, but having other responsibilities in life that force you to keep going, and then it's someday when neither one of y'all can take it anymore, one of y'all pulls the plug, and then you got to go through the legalities of paperwork and things to get that thing officially separated, or do the separation and then get the papers for the divorce. Or you're in a long term, and still your friends, your family, everybody got used to seeing y'all together, and it's never a good time to do it because auntie so-and-so just died, uncle blah 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 died, the cat died, your dog died, your friend just had a baby, you went to a baby shower, it made you feel some kind of way. But it's a million reasons to not pull the plug. But that's all the times when you probably should anyway. So when you done been through some grown folk stuff like that, I promise y'all, that makes it easier to understand this situation. And when I think about the ones I've had that did work, it was because of that especially. It was people who have been through stuff similar to me, and they didn't have kids, by the way, because that adds a whole nother dynamic. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm an uncle, so yeah, that's a whole nother situation. So if they ain't got all that going on, they can tend to understand a little bit better why it works, and they can work toward the goal without it getting weird. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you still don't hold back. You still treat them, y'all. See, fellas, this is the one, like I say, if you are still out there, but you got a situation like this, the true dress casual situation, you're going to find that whoever's putting forward the most effort, that's the one you're going to start thinking, man, what if she were a wife? This one here might be something. And she's going to start thinking the same thing. Now, here's the thing not to do, though, ladies. Don't put the pressure on him and start talking that other stuff. Just, mention that you see his value. That's all. Let him know. And fellas, let her know you see her value. That's what you do. It's not putting and that's not planting some evil seed in somebody's head to manipulate them. That's literally stating something like, you putting in time, y'all sharing all this time. You're putting something in the ground and say, no, I seriously value this. And I'm starting to see how this could be maybe more. You're still not ready though, financially, life-wise, other parts of life. You could have, she could be in school. You could be in school. Her job could be too demanding to have enough time to really spend long-term relationship time with you. But she is wanting to. You understand? Or he is wanting to. So see, it's always a trade-off in this kind of scenario. It's always a trade-off. But the beautiful thing is when there's no pressure, we get it in when we can. We get together when we can. We still have some outings. Y'all really get deep. You might even take a trip or so together. Or meet somebody if it's long-term relationship. Long distance, okay? But this all can lead to, since I said LTR, can lead to that LTR that you might want. Only if you play your cards right. So here's that last part about I was saying, like if somebody decides that they found somebody else and they want to see what's going on over there or whatever factor forces them to move on, right? Leave the door open. Do not burn the bridge. Don't mess that thing up. If that person's good. If you're just trying to get out, you should have been telling them that before it was about somebody else. If they're not doing right, you're not happy, because you're responsible for your own happiness, and what you've allowed from their energy into your life is not working for you. That's up to you to handle that, right? So you go on and get it out. But here's the thing: you want to let them know you can come back if you need to, because you impressed me. you've made worthy time with me. You can come back. I'll be right here, willing, arms open, like, boy, it's been a while, right? That's that real. Now, that doesn't mean when they come back that's going to turn into the long term. Sometimes you just in a drought and you need a friend, all right? And I'm not just talking about the sex. I'm talking about you just need somebody to talk to, somebody who understands you on another level because y'all done been there already. They know what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. You know what they're trying to accomplish. Y'all ain't got to re-explain yourselves to no damn body. You just can come back when you need to come back if they're available. And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hit them with the hey big head text. What is that lame trifling? It's amazing how that one little phrase has become a universal. It's just, man, I swear, social media is amazing. It's like, it's the hey big head. Like, everybody don't talk to their friend like that. I know where it comes from. I'm old enough to remember when it first got said and became a thing. But trust me, there's other ways to do this. You want to approach like, hey, it's been a while, but what's your situation right now? Let's start right there, because I ain't trying to disrespect nothing. I wouldn't want you to disrespect me if I had something going on. You don't know if she's chilling right there on the couch with the new dude that's in her life. You know what I'm saying? But she hits you back and it's like, thank you as always. You're always respectful. Here's my situation. Guess what? I'm single again. Oh. And then maybe y'all share a moment that you needed, that she needed. But that don't necessarily mean everything's about to turn into, flowers blooming, planning weddings, everything's the next level. And maybe you just needed that moment. And that's living real life. That's living. This is so mature right now, y'all. This is real grown. People talk about being grown. This is grown. This is grown. Proposing things, giving options, responsible responses, responsible circumstances, responsibility. Responsible for yourself. Responsible for yourself. And therefore responsible for who you allow to be around and who they allow to be around and what y'all gonna do and how you gonna do it. Yeah, okay. So, like I say, you might end up in a good situation with somebody, but if a woman does this thing that I'm saying both should do, if they gotta move on, let me tell you something. That right there, it's so rare. It's so rare, but when it's done right, that woman there, that's that one who can really get some serious consideration for the other level. When that man finally gets to that point he's trying to get to. When she gets to that point she's trying to get to. When y'all are both on the same page where y'all could consider a long-term relationship that could lead to the ring or something like that. Maybe, yeah. This is how it happens, y'all. This is how it happens. Even if it's not the marriage, whatever long-term situation y'all want to call it. Marriage is just a long-term relationship. That's really all it is, but it's with the court and everybody and the government and the state and everybody involved in your stuff, because it is a contract. It's a business arrangement. And now family and everybody else got to know and be all up in it and all that too. You understand? That's what makes it what it is, what it really is, okay? So you could get that kind of consideration if you play your cards right, ladies. And trust me, a man is going to think about that and say, man, she really is saying like she sees my value. And that she would want to be with me when I get my stuff to where I'm trying to get my stuff to. Or when she gets her stuff to where her stuff matches with what we know for just us. It's an individual thing. Enough of this is enough for me. Oh, yeah? Okay, well, enough of that is enough for me. All right, well, I ain't got it yet. Me neither. Well, I'll tell you what, when we get there, we're going to bring this thing together. We're going to be amazing. Now, here's the thing about life. Maybe you missed that opportunity. But there should be no shame. You know why? Because I philosophize and believe in what I call, there is no one. There are ones of one. The ones of ones. The ones of ones. There's one of ones. There's many ones. But if you meet the right one at the right time, and if y'all are ready, that's the one. You ain't ready, you still a one of ones, but go about your way. Come back when you got your stuff where we both know it need to be. Come back when I need my stuff to be a certain way and we got to both be right where we need to be to make it come together. And then it's going to be grand. But this takes a lot of psychological work, a lot of financial work. It's a lot of luggage we all carrying. A lot of stuff, a lot of goals, a lot of everything we trying to accomplish. None of that's in vain. It's the only way it's going to be worth forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. So consider all of this when you're out here doing what you do. And again, this has been the ONYXCON's relationship goals in the art life, especially talking about what I like to call dress casual. Yeah. Put on your hard bottoms, fellas. Put on some slacks and a nice button up. Do it like that. Dress casual. Y'all have a good one. Ladies, take note.